Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for my favorite segment. It is time for your favorite segment. It is time for everyone's genuinely favorite segment of the Level 1 podcast. It is time for Phil's Day Off on Monday. It is time for DSP News. I'm just kidding. And today on DSP News, we have quite a few topics to discuss. But before we get to the big news topics in gaming, I have a hilarious topic to talk about YouTube. In fact, just to confirm, I just want to check something quickly. Okay, so a funny thing happened this morning. You may have noticed, or you may have remembered, that about a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago it was, I explained to you guys that YouTube had done a big oopsie poopsie. As they were recoding the site, trying to improve stuff, they accidentally broke everyone's @address links. Meaning, if you wanted to go to a YouTube channel, like my React channel, which is youtube.com/@dspreacts, if you type that into a web browser, it would give you a 404 error as if the channel had been removed from YouTube, even though it hadn't and was still fully functional. This kind of thing literally happens all the time. YouTube is one of the few businesses out there that they don't test anything. I'm just going to repeat that. They literally don't test anything before they launch it. They just launch it and hope for the best. And half the time, when they do something and change it, they screw it all up. And then what happens is we're the end user beta testers of their fuck ups. And then we have to figure out what they broke, report it to them, and then they'll fix it after the fact without ever admitting that they did any wrong. Okay? Well, you might say, well, you know, for like 4 or 5 days, not being able to access a YouTube channel via the ad address isn't that big of a deal. Well, you're actually right, because if you had subscribed to a channel, it still showed up. You still were going to get notifications of the videos. The videos still showed up. Still revenue was still made. The only difference was you couldn't access it from the @link. So some people erroneously actually thought that channels had been like deleted from YouTube when they had it. Okay? So unfortunate that it happened. It took maybe about a week, and then they fixed it. And then I noticed all the links worked again. But everything was kind of broken for about a week, including everyone who used those links for stuff like I did. And they were all broken, but I fixed it basically. Okay? Okay. So, why am I bringing this up? Because this week, YouTube had another oopsie poopsie. Only this one really had people freaking out. Okay? This morning, YouTube decided to recode both their app API as well as the channel API. What does that mean? It means that the data feeds that we as YouTubers get to track statistics, like analytics, like how are my videos doing? How many views do they get? How much engagement? How much money? All of that. They broke it all this morning. Okay? But the problem was they fixed part of it right away, but then it took them over 2 hours to fix another part of it. So the API was broken for maybe 10 minutes when it came to views and everything. So everyone's channel showed 0, as if no one had any videos. And they're like, what? Then they fixed that. Okay. But guess what they broke? Revenue. So this morning, between the hours of like 8 a.m. to around like 10:45, 11 a.m., okay? If you tried to check your YouTube channel for any kind of revenue data, it basically said that you made $0 or any revenue, if you're pounds, whatever it is, from the days of April 14th until today. All of your data was erased. You could click around on every video. They all read as $0. You click on your memberships, 0. Click on ad revenue, 0. It all deleted. So people started to freak out, and you can actually take a look. If you look at the X app and you look at people posting YouTube revenue, for like a 2-hour span, people kept tagging, the YouTube creators account, freaking out. Like, what the hell is going on? Am I losing my revenue? What's happening? Like, what the hell? Why would they do that, right? But then after about 2 hours or so, it started to slowly load. And now, as of this now, it actually works again. So is this a huge deal? No. But just imagine that you're like a YouTuber and like this is the time a week where you do your work or whatever, and Oh, look, I mean, $0 for a whole month? Like, what is going on? Someone like me, yeah, this would affect me huge. Imagine if they screwed up and it wasn't a 2-hour screw up, but a 2-week screw up. Well, I'm supposed to get paid next week. How am I going to pay my bills if I don't get paid by YouTube because they screwed up their API and deleted the revenue data, right? So this is a problem. YouTube infamously makes these F-ups, and then they try to fix them hurriedly after the fact. There's going to be a day when they're going to break something and they can't fix it right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is dumb that they just allow the coders to have free reign of the site and not test anything. How do you let them break all the data on the site? They literally broke every piece of data and then had to hurriedly within 3 hours fix it. It's like, that is so dumb. So anyway, is it a huge deal? No, it's not, because they did fix it right away. But it's just another example of YouTube always screwing up this whole site and then having to fix it fast. It's just dumb. And it's like, I feel like at one point they are going to make an error they can't just hurriedly fix, and something's going to hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? But for now, at least, it was just kind of a temporary thing. For me, I was eating breakfast. Like, for me, I wasn't freaking out or anything. I was like, so I'm having my bagel, and I go to check my videos. I'm like, oh, there's like no data at all on this. Oh, that's good. Because I like to check stuff. For example, one thing I'm still checking is part 1 of my Fallout 4 playthrough, which about 3 weeks ago, remember, it hit the YouTube algorithm, and it currently has like 32,000 views and is still getting some residual views. I'm owed revenue on that video, but YouTube tried to claim it for music, so I disputed it. Well, it's been 3 weeks, and guess what? YouTube still didn't grant the claim. It's still in the review process, which makes no sense because the criteria of YouTube says 2 weeks, but for some reason, they hold it for a month anyway because they don't even abide by their own legal rules. So I'm still waiting on that, and it's like, every day I try to check, hey, did it clear up yet? Hey, did I actually make some money on that video, considering how well it did? And it's nothing. It's like, wow, nothing on that video. I can't make any revenue on it until they clear this up. Anyway, that was just the first piece of news. Let's now...
I got the drip going. 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 I got the drip.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.